Great. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Dr. Lash, and you know Dr. Alifai. And we have two students who you may well know as well who are going to be talking about this program, but we're excited that you're here today. It's strange to think about the summer. Like, is summer going to be arriving? But it will. And summer between the first and second year is really a great opportunity to get substantially involved in research. And it's a great way to sort of like upstart that. And then you hopefully will continue it in medical school. And so this is the point of this program that we have been having at UIC for the past. This week, you'll be in the fourth year, the fourth summer. We've completed 3 summer programs, and it's a research training program sponsored by NIH. And we'll just give you a brief overview of it and the application process. But thank you so much for coming. This is a nice sized crowd. Do we have any people on Zoom? Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. So, Okay, so what is the T35? What is it? Well, it provides mentored research training in the mission areas of one of the institutes of NIH, and it's a very broad institute. It's the Institute of Diabetes, Digestive Diseases, and Kidney Diseases. And so this institute focuses on diseases involving these areas, in particular kidney diseases, benign urological diseases, benign hematologic diseases, digestive diseases, nutrition, diabetes, endocrinology, and metabolic diseases. So it's a very broad array. And it's actually, regardless of what you plan to do with your career, these, the research experience and the types of broad areas that are covered by this training grant will serve you well. So it provides 2 months of structured research. So you work with a mentor, and you participate in a structured curriculum between your first and second year, and you can see the dates. And we have 15 slots. And for participating, you'll be paid a stipend through NIH, and it's roughly about $4,800. Okay, so the mentored research component is you work with an established investigator, a mentor who is on the training grant, and then you actually, work on a project, and you do all the things involved in terms of data collection, data analysis, data interpretation. So that's sort of like the cornerstone of this experience is the mentored research. And it really often lays the foundation for continued collaboration after completion of the program. And many of our students have done that. Okay, great. So then the structured curriculum, it includes 3 sessions per week. 2 are in person, 1 is by Zoom, and focused on research methodology, skill development, and we try to make it as interactive and informal as possible, so that there's a lot of peer-to-peer mentoring and feedback that you get from your colleagues in the program. Okay. So this is, again, details about the structured curriculum, and Dr. Alifai organizes it incredibly well. But you can see, so there's core curriculum topics. There's a journal club that is led by the trainees, by usually a team of 3 trainees. There's works in progress, so that as you develop your research project, you sort of present it once, early in the program, and then you present it again towards the end of the program. We have, panels, career development panels, so you can see people at different stages of their career who are involved in research. And then at the end of the program, we have sort of like an all-day final symposium where we you do a formal presentation of your research. And it's also a requirement to present at the College of Medicine Research Day, which usually is in November, and this year was just past Friday. Okay, so program requirements, they're listed here because this is NIH sponsored. It's required that the trainee be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, that the one has completed the first year of medical school by the time of the program, and then required to really commit to these 8 weeks. So if you plan to go on vacation during this time, this program isn't for you. But so really have to commit to being present for this 8-week program. Okay. So, we have 42 mentors, and you can see here's the breakdown sort of by the institutes, the way the NIDDK divides the institutes. So you can see that we have a large number of mentors in these three key areas, and all of our mentors are required to have funding, so they need to have federal funding. So they also need to have a demonstrated track record in mentoring, and are required also to complete mentor training. So the reason why we're talking to you so early in the year is that now is the time, if you're interested in pursuing this, is start investigating, looking at our website at our list of mentors, and reaching out to individuals who you think might be a good match for you. And it's fine to reach out, send an informal email. You can meet with several people, and our students will tell that process. It's sometimes a little people are going like, wait, do I email this person? They're expecting to hear from people and to meet with multiple students. So, yeah. So, and then the proposal, and all the details for the proposal are really described really well on the website. It's due by March 2nd. So, we're giving you a good deal of lead time. Dr. Overfy, do you want to talk about the proposal or? Okay. We're both very good at reading slides. So the research proposal, it's really not very daunting. It's about 3 to 4 pages in length, and you can see that it needs to have these particular components. Projects vary. Sometimes, we'll meet with a student, the student will say, oh, I'm interested in this area. So the mentor may, we'll try to see whether it's feasible to craft a particular project in your area of interest. Other times, the mentor may have like a very circumscribed practical project that may be good for you. So either way happens, and it's sort of, you kind of fill that out with what motivates you, and you can sort of see what the mentor what their viewpoint is. So you can see the components. It's relatively short. Yeah, there's a cover page. The mentor needs to sign off on it. There's a personal statement. There's a CV. So a lot of this is really just a good exercise. Even if you don't do the program, it's a really good exercise in preparing grants later in life. The other thing is we really keep our application very similar to the Craig Fellowship, so that the length, all of that is very similar. So you're able to apply for both opportunities. Ours needs to be with our mentors and needs to be within that NIDDK mission area. Both are wonderful opportunities. I think ours might have the stipend, I think, is a little bit more. And it's also a very nice achievement to say that you'll be able to list on your CV that you're on this NIH training grant. The Craig is wonderful too. So tell them, all Craig people, that we support the Craig. It's a great opportunity. And it's really good. You can apply for both. Okay, good. And, the feedback for the program, has been very positive. I think our medical students here will tell you what their experiences have been with the program. I won't read these quotes, but they're all very positive in terms of the type of experience that students have had, in terms of, really gaining comfort with research. You don't have to, Dr. Overfy always says, you don't have to have done prior research. There's such a range of people's experience. Some people have done a lot of research in college, undergrad. Some individuals haven't. And certainly either way can work out very well. So these are, important dates. So our applications open on December 1st. Our website is very helpful. Look at that. Natalie Mays is our program director, and you can reach out to her with any questions. We usually, yes. And we try to inform you by the end of March. So we try to time it really to work out well, for questions. We're able to open up questions, but I think be really good. Dr. Alrafai, did you want to add anything about your perspective?
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Lash. Maybe it's good to say hello to everyone, and thank you so much for coming, even those over Zoom. Thank you to both of you for coming also and joining us. I just want to reiterate a few things. Well, we are different from the CREG in a sense that the CREG, your stipend is going to come from the CREG, and also the mentor will contribute to that stipend. So the mentor should have financial support for you as well. But here in our program, it's different. The whole stipend is coming from the program, paid directly from the NIH. So that's one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind. And also I want to say that don't be intimidated by how it looks like, the application, the proposal. It looks like it's a lot to do, but it's not that much of work to be done. And you guys probably will clarify that more. It's just a matter of trying to put a summary of the things that you will be doing in the summer. So don't be intimidated. It will be a great experience, whether you will pursue a career in research in the future or not. I assure you, this is a great learning exercise. It will benefit you. It will make you a better physician, no matter what kind of direction your career will go. It's fun. I'm talking from my perspective, but I'm sure also the students will tell you also that we usually enjoy our meetings, our weekly meetings. Those 3 weekly meetings are really enjoyable, very interactive. We exchange thoughts and ideas and experiences as well, and give each other feedback. It covers broad range of topics related to research overall. And I again want to thank Natalie. Natalie is the heart of the program, I would say, Dr. Lash, if you agree with me. So I think with all her generosity and full support, I think that is number 1 reason for you to join the program. Believe me. Well, thank you so much for coming today and learning about our program, and hope you guys will be encouraged to apply, and we'll see you in that program also.
And why don't we have our Ajit and Gordy speak, and Rudy, speak, talk a little bit about their experience, and then we can open it up for questions.
Sure. Guys, it's really,
Come here, so they can hear you.
That would be inclusive. Okay, cool. I'm Ajit, and this is Rudy.
yeah, it's really a spectacular experience. They don't really say how much of like a privilege this is that we have this at UIC. Like if you look it up online, there's maybe 10 other medical schools in the whole country that has this kind of program. And they offer so much. You get to learn like all these different skills related to research. I had never done like coding on like large scales of data before. And I got to learn how to do that, which has been a goal of mine. You get to learn about a lot of different like advances in clinical medicine from UIC researchers, which is awesome to hear. And then you get to also see like what a career in research looks like. And they organize like, 2 or 3 sessions per week. So it's very like involved. You see each other all the time. And they really put a lot into like mentoring and building the sort of the program that you want, and giving you the skills that you need to be a doctor, be a researcher, all the above.
Yeah. On top of that, I really like those 3 weekly sessions because there was a lot of buy-in from us. Of like, we're the ones presenting a lot of the times. We're presenting our research to our classmates. We're learning how to dissect papers, and the expectation is that you're paying attention, you're giving feedback, and you're learning from each other. I feel like, we didn't just learn about our own like research. We learned about each other's and how those are designed. So you get access to just not only your own project, but everyone else's, and you get to learn a lot from that. Yeah, I do also really like how the mission areas kind of are really aligned with GI and renal. So right when we came out of block 5, GI I felt really good on. I really like GI. Renal I struggled a lot with. But then my research all summer was on kidneys. So now I feel like that's actually a strong area of mine. So going to step studying, I feel like every time I do a renal question, I feel pretty okay. Just food for thought there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely helps. And if you're not super interested in renal or metabolic disease or GI stuff, like that's okay. And your project should focus on one of those. But it can also have aspects of other specialties or areas of that you're interested in. Like my project is I was very interested in public health, so I wanted to do public health, something to do with kidneys. I ended up doing a project that is still focused on chronic kidney disease, but has aspects of gerontology and cardiology in it as well. If you were interested in something like OB-GYN, you could do something related to gestational diabetes. Like the focus of it should be that, but it can have other things related to other disciplines in it.
Yeah. I'm really interested in hemonc, and my project happened to be kidney disease in sickle cell disease. So it was with a hematologist, but he also calls himself a nephrologist because he does so much kidney work. So you can find a project that does align with what you're interested in, or at least find a way to make it really tie into that. And you might find a new interest, honestly, in like the area you're working in.
Very true.
So my project with Dr. Saroff was really fleshed out when I came to him. And that was actually really good for me just because I needed structure going in and he had a lot of it. So it made my work this summer really clean cut. We met everyone's I think a few times a week, and he gave a lot of guidance. It was very, I don't want to say handholdy, but it was handholdy in the beginning because I didn't know anything about what we were doing. So he was very patient and we were able to take it very far. We submitted an abstract to ASH, so now I have an oral presentation in December as a result of the T35.
Hey, how about
So,
that?
yeah. And they're also funding my registration and other things for the conference, which is very nice. Thank you, Natalie. Yeah.
Wait, I think we can open it to open for questions.
With our group project, are we going to be working on the mentor as well as the virus protocol, or would you, if you did want to do a project on the entire
Yeah. So some people have done it different ways. A lot of times, some people have built their project once they met with their mentor and discovered sort of what a project would be good. And some people have sort of jumped on and become a part of one of their existing projects. So the IRB's already been submitted, or maybe they help complete the IRB and submit that to the board before the summer begins.
Yeah, it's a great question, and Rudy, you answered it really well. So that there's a range, but we try to, as much as possible, to have the things set up so that you really can engage in the research in the summer. So it's with a adequate lead time, it's possible that you could, with a mentor, get an IRB in and things like that. But what's really good is a lot of our mentors have very broad projects that already have the approvals for human or animal use, and so that you could probably find a sub project within that area. So, but great question, thank you. And yes, and the question was, yeah. Well, we already answered it, so I think it was pretty obvious. Do you need to get IRB for our Zoom participants? Do you need to have IRB approval prior to the project? Yeah.
I would say also too, if you are awarded, you will be sent an email letting you know some training and some certifications that you should complete prior to start your program. You do tack on a week. That's for your full stipend during the end of your semester, so before the program starts, so that you can complete that tax.
Yes.
Oh, the question was, it's an 8-week thing during the summer. Is it a full work week or just depend on your mentor? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's considered to be a full 40-hour work week. So thank you for asking that, because sometimes we forget to say that and then there's a disconnect. But Natalie, we're pretty, Yeah, it's a stipend, it's a full-time commitment. So, if that's, if that's a if you want a vacation or travel, then the program isn't right, but thanks for asking. Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to add on
Oh,
to that.
yes.
Are allocated 2 vacations/sick days throughout the program, like you would like a normal job, 1 per month. And you must submit request it if it isn't like sick related prior, not just through your mentor, but through the program as well. Because you'll set up a work schedule with your mentor, but that work schedule that you set up is not, you still have to come to your in-person session. That's separate from the work that you do with your mentor. It's still a part of the 40 hours a week, but we expect you to be at the in-person session. Unless you've received prior approval to not be there. Now, of course, people get sick, people are allowed to miss if they're sick, but we don't anticipate anyone trying to be like, well, I'm gonna be gone this week, so trying to miss weekly session. We expect you to be there all days because it is a full-time job.
Prior to meeting with faculty mentor, did you already get the project in mind, or were you able to isolate in such a way?
Question was, prior to meeting with your mentor, did you have a project in mind, or were you able to create a project with your mentor? So for mine, all the data was collected. The project was designed ahead of time. So when I first met with him, he was still finishing data collection, and we kind of were looking at other parameters to look at, I guess. And then when I started my project in the very beginning of summer, it was all ready to go. So mine is a very nice project for that reason. But there's a lot of ways you can go about it if you want to tailor it to your interests. I think, like Dr. Lash said earlier, identifying mentors early, reaching out to them and meeting with them and talking to them about your goals. Like, say you were to reach out to a mentor in January and decide I really want to work with this person, and they really like you and you guys just click, then maybe you can start looking into what a project might look like for you there. And if it doesn't work for T35, at least you have a fleshed out idea for Craig too.
Yeah. I had a very thought out idea of what I wanted my project to be. And then after meeting with 2 mentors, I realized that project wasn't doable. So I pivoted and I came up with a new idea with my mentor, and we wrote the whole application based on that. And then once the summer began, we realized that project was also not doable in the time that was allotted. So we pivoted to a third project that was similar to the second project. But yeah, you don't have to, you can just meet with a researcher that you enjoy, what they've done in the past, and say, maybe you have an idea, or maybe you want to come up with an idea. But they're all very conducive to your ideas if you have something you really want to do.
And also something to keep in mind, this also applies for Craig or any other summer research program. Your project might not be done at the end of the summer. You might not have complete endpoints, more than likely you're going to keep going after the summer ends, but hopefully you have some measurable outcome by the end of the summer that so you're on the right track, because research is not fast a lot of times. Yeah.
Sounds like most of them 8 weeks, but regardless of the schedule, they're not taking our research for sooner, and then both of them work to be done in the summer.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's expected that at least a lot of the pre-writing and looking into the subject is done, and a lot of that is with your application. But you can get your project going earlier, especially for people who have to submit IRBs. Those kind of things should ideally be done and accepted by the beginning of the summer, but it's not applicable to every project.
The supplies, the research
Oh,
supplies.
yeah, the mentor will be responsible for research supplies. They're funded, yes. Great question.
Are those both in scholarly subscription programs? We have something that we have to do with the summer. What's the flexibility?
I think that's something we would have to deal with case by case, because we don't want to. Sometimes they can be melded together really well, and so then it may not be an issue. But we would have to sort of make sure that the minimum program requirements can be satisfied, attending the in-person lectures, that it's research in the But I think we could handle that sort of case by case. But that's a good question. Thanks.
Say people normally will email me their schedule and then we'll look to see if there's gonna be a bigger conflict and we'll let them know, at that point, if you go forward or not.
Oh, I can say.
I'm in the MDMPH program also, and we had coursework over the summer. And that, since it was asynchronous, it was very flexible for me. But I know things like IMED, where there's like the immersion in clinics where it's every day, that seems like it'd be much less or much more difficult, probably not doable. But I don't know about the other concentrations.
Yeah, we'll take it case by case because, yeah. Any other questions? Any questions from our Zoom participants?
We can't see the chat, so if you want to unmute, if you do have a question.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
there it
yes, beautiful. Way to go.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you, everybody, for Natalie, any final words?
Yes, I strongly encourage all of you to apply. The number one thing that I've heard, we've had 41 students complete the program. All of them have gone on to present at least a College of Medicine Research Day. 75 to 80% of them have presented at a national conference. A lot of them, as you know, you said research is slow. Our first class, we had a pilot class, they're all residents now, still continuing to do research. Our first year class is now applying for residency, but a lot of them are just getting their publications out. So it is a long-term process, but we try to be with you throughout the entire time. I know the in-person component may seem like a lot, but a lot of the feedback that we've had when we've done follow-up evaluation is that they developed their own smaller cohort of support because they all knew each other. They spent this extensive amount of time together. A lot of you had said you had never met before being in the program or really talked with each other before being in the program. So they developed an internal support system. I think there are a lot of benefits, and a lot of you have the experience already without even knowing it. And a big part of it is just trying it for the first time. I mean, research can be really difficult, but we want, to provide as much support as possible for all of you to be successful. So yeah, I hope you will all strongly encourage you all to apply. I'd love to see you in the summer.
Thank you, Natalie. Yep, I think that sums up. And are any of our Zoom participants from Peoria or Rockford? But anyway, we encourage, yes, there's a Peoria.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, Peoria. Yay,
Oh,
Rockford.
fancy.
Okay, great. And yeah, we encourage you to apply as well. And, let us know if you have any questions and if we can, make the application process, easier for you. But we really want representation from all campuses. We didn't have it last summer, but we did the summer before. So, yeah.
And I just want to say our website is at nephrology.uic.edu. There's a research tab where the T35 program is at. We're the only T35 program at UIC, so you could also Google UIC T35. My email was in all the notices. It's nmesa1@uic.edu. I'll write it in the chat for everybody too. But please email me if you have any questions. Yeah, I really love this program and I just want you all to do it. Because I'm a nerd.
You can email Natalie if you have a question, but you can also reach to any of us if you have any questions about this program for the summer. So I again encourage you, like Natalie said, to apply and consider this program. And good luck to you. And I will see you in May, guys, in Block 5. Get
Be
ready for
there.
that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks.